Come on, Judge. It's just a prank. If people are still homeless, that's on them, not me. The entire courtroom froze the moment those words left Tyler Chen's mouth. At only 16 years old, he sat in Judge Judy's courtroom wearing designer clothes, smirking like the whole hearing was some kind of joke. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't ashamed. In fact, he looked annoyed that his day had been interrupted at all. The charges against him were serious: felony vandalism, destruction of property, and hate crimes connected to an attack on a homeless shelter. But Tyler didn't see any of it as a real crime. To him, it had all been content. A viral prank for his hundreds of thousands of followers online. Only days earlier, Tyler and several wealthy friends had broken into the Riverside Community Shelter late at night. While live streaming to cheering viewers, they spray-painted hateful messages across the walls, destroyed donated winter clothing, smashed computers residents used to search for jobs, and even poured bleach into food supplies meant to feed struggling families. Throughout the entire live stream, Tyler laughed while insulting the homeless residents, calling them lazy failures who deserved their suffering. By the time the hearing began, the video had already spread across the internet. Millions of people were furious, but Tyler still believed none of it mattered. In his mind, money solved everything. Consequences were for ordinary people. Judge Judy stared at him carefully as he lounged in the defendant's chair with complete disrespect. Even after she asked him to put away his phone and earbuds, he acted irritated by the request. "Can we hurry this up?" Tyler muttered. "My followers are waiting for tonight's upload." The courtroom gallery shifted uncomfortably. Judge Judy had seen arrogant teenagers before, but something about Tyler's complete lack of empathy disturbed even her. When she asked if he felt remorse for destroying food and shelter supplies meant for vulnerable people, Tyler rolled his eyes. "Why should I?" he replied casually. "Those people need jobs, not sympathy. My dad came to America with nothing and became a millionaire. If they're homeless, that's their fault." He spoke proudly about his father, Marcus Chen, a respected real estate developer who owned commercial buildings across Connecticut. Tyler believed his father's success proved that poor people were simply weak. Judge Judy leaned forward slowly. "And your father taught you this?" she asked quietly. Tyler nodded confidently. "He taught me winners don't make excuses." Then Judge Judy asked a question that changed everything. "Is your father in court today?" Tyler casually glanced toward the back row and smiled when he spotted Marcus seated quietly near the wall. He waved at him, assuming his father had come to protect him once again. But Judge Judy's next words shattered that confidence immediately. "Your father contacted this court personally," she said. "He told my staff there was something you needed to hear today. Something he should have told you years ago." For the first time all afternoon, Tyler looked confused. Judge Judy then revealed something no one expected. The homeless shelter Tyler destroyed had actually been built by his own father over 20 years earlier. The color drained from Tyler's face. "What?" he whispered. Judge Judy explained that Marcus Chen personally designed the shelter, hired its staff, and continued supporting it every single year. The building Tyler mocked online was the most meaningful project of his father's entire life. Tyler turned toward his father in disbelief. "That makes no sense," he said shakily. "My dad hates handouts." Judge Judy's expression softened slightly. "No," she replied. "Your father hid the truth from you." Then Marcus slowly stood up from the back of the courtroom. The entire room fell silent as he walked toward his son. His face carried years of buried pain. When he finally spoke, his voice trembled. "Tyler, I lied to you." The teenager stared at him in shock. Marcus admitted that although he had told Tyler about immigrating to America with little money, he had hidden the hardest part of his story. For nearly 3 years after arriving in America, Marcus Chen had been homeless. The courtroom gasped. Tyler's face turned completely pale. Marcus described sleeping in subway stations, searching through trash for food, standing in soup kitchen lines, and wearing donated clothes because he had nothing else. He explained how Riverside Shelter had saved his life when he was sick, starving, and losing hope. "That shelter gave me dignity," Marcus said through tears. "The people there treated me like a human being when I felt invisible." Tyler began shaking uncontrollably. The arrogant smile he entered with had vanished completely. "You were homeless," he whispered. "Why didn't you tell me?" Marcus looked at his son with heartbreaking sadness. "Because I was ashamed," he admitted. "I wanted you to see me as powerful, successful, untouchable, so I hid my struggle, and by hiding it, I taught you to hate people who suffer." Tyler broke down crying right there in court. "I didn't know," he sobbed. "I swear I didn't know." Marcus nodded painfully. "That's my fault too." The courtroom was completely silent except for Tyler's crying. Many people in the gallery wiped tears from their eyes. Then Marcus turned toward Judge Judy and made one final request. "Your Honor," he said firmly, "I don't want special treatment for my son anymore. No lawyers fixing this, no money making it disappear. He needs to face real consequences." Judge Judy nodded respectfully before delivering her sentence. Tyler was found guilty on every charge. He received 6 months in juvenile detention, mandatory restitution payments, 500 hours of community service at Riverside Shelter, and a complete suspension of his social media accounts for 1 year. He was also ordered to publicly apologize to the shelter staff and residents he mocked. But Judge Judy added something even more important. "You destroyed your father's legacy," she told him. "Now you're going to help rebuild it." By the end of the hearing, the courtroom erupted into applause. Tyler collapsed into his father's arms, crying harder than ever before. "I'm sorry," he repeated over and over. "I'm so sorry." Marcus held him tightly. "Real strength," he whispered to his son, "isn't pretending you've never struggled. It's telling the truth about how you survived." The courtroom footage exploded across the internet within hours, becoming one of the most viewed legal clips of the year. But the most important part happened afterward. Tyler served his sentence. He completed every hour of community service at Riverside Shelter. Over time, the people he once mocked became the people who changed him. He listened to stories about abuse, medical debt, unemployment, and families destroyed by tragedy. Slowly, his hatred disappeared. Months later, Tyler continued volunteering at the shelter, even after his required hours ended. He eventually began speaking publicly alongside his father about privilege, empathy, and hidden struggles. And for the first time in his life, Marcus Chen stopped hiding the truth about where he came from, because sometimes the most powerful thing a parent can do isn't protecting their child from painful truths. Sometimes it's finally telling them the truth at all.